right, y'all. Welcome and welcome back. S.WigginsTV. It's your host with the most from the coast, Worldwide Wiggins, man. Today we gonna switch it up, man. I got some real history for y'all, man. This time from the East Coast. We got some priceless history, feel me, that not a lot of people shine a lot of light on, man, because on my channel it's a lot of West Coast and, IE, you know what I'm saying, LA, South LA, but, we gonna kick it on the East today, man. So rock with my boy, man. Please give it up for Baby Montega, Pasadena, Denver Lanes, out in Delaware. What's the deal, homie?
What's bragging? That's looking out. Nice to meet you, bro.
You already know, man. Likewise, homie. Let's get down to it, man. Man, how long has Denver Lanes been out there in Delaware, man?
Roughly, because I got put on in 2015, so roughly before me, I want to say it's been like a good 17, maybe 16 years.
16 years, damn. All right. So, okay, so for people who don't know, like we was just chopping it up about it, man. Like, where exactly is Delaware? Because you got mom that never left Cali.
Right. We are located in Wilmington, Delaware, exactly where if anybody pays attention to the presidential race and all that shit, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is exactly where we from, but he not from the. Like, we not from, like, where he's from. We from the hood first. Like, it's two parts to Delaware. You got, like, the city, and then you got, like, the outskirts, like, Newcastle County and all that. But we from the inner city, Wilmington, Delaware.
All right, for sure. Oh, yeah, speaking of Wilmington, Delaware, this is another thing I think we was chopping it up about, man, because my boys out there in Wilmington, California, you feel me? They was telling me about Wilmington, Delaware, the dude that started.
Oh, yeah, the Ghost Town homies.
Yeah, the Ghost Towns. Yup. They were.
Yeah, shout out to the Ghost Town homies. I was reading that too, man. A lot of, it's crazy, Wiggins. A lot of homies over here didn't even know that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, if you really, I want to say shout out to them because they actually shined a little light on the city by doing that, because a lot of homies didn't even know that, man. A lot of people didn't know that.
For sure, man. That's dope right there, man. So when y'all started, I know you kind of young, man. Well, not kind of, but when y'all started domoing out there, like, what was the resistance, man? What other hoods? They got 60s, probably. I know Denver Lanes beef with Broadway gangsters, right?
Well, out here in the city, right? I'm gonna break down Wilmington, because Wilmington is fairly not like any other gangbanging state, if you could say. Like, it's not like Chicago, it's not like LA, it's not like New York. It's kind of like a little separated out here. It's a little different. Ain't no structure. It's a little, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like grass. You kind of got, like, it's a little different, man. It's hard to explain. Like, you really got more of a street clique based out here than you got organizations, if that makes sense. So really what I'm getting to, like, mainly coming up, we mainly had like little off-brand dudes that would come out here trying to scream certain hoods, but it would never last because they would never get that deep. We would never let it get that deep. And then besides us being out here, we always had an ally, the Mob Pyrus, the 1700 blocks and the 18s and the Itchy houses. They was always out here with us. So it was like, it's Crips out here, but it don't never get that big as us, if that makes sense.
Okay, so what's some of the Crips out there now?
You got some of the 6-0s out here. You got some 5-deuce hoopers, but now it's a little tricky because I'm gonna give you some knowledge right here, right? So now it's all known that DLB, PDL, we don't get along with hoopers. Now, not saying that the code changed over here on the East. We still follow the rules, but I'm gonna give you the little history breakdown. So,
all right.
One of our 4 founders out here, right? For PDL, yeah. One of his relatives was one of the big homies over there for hoopers. So when it comes to like a war, it don't really be war. It'd be more so like if it's an issue, we come together and we kind of like solve the issue because it's family involved.
Okay. I mean,
so that's like the only thing that's kind of different from you know what I mean, anywhere else. And we kind of got like a truce with them. Not like really a truce, but it's kind of like, all right, y'all over there, we over here. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is.
All right, for sure. I mean, but do y'all beef with the 60s? Because I don't know. I'm not sure if you aware of this, but in LA, the 60s and Denver Lanes is kind of cool.
Nah, all right. So now I'm making you down to that.
Most of the Rollins got family and all that with the Denvers and stuff, and they got common enemies. So
for sure.
Goes. But on the East Coast, like bro said, on the East Coast, it's the other way around. You know, like in Cali, for every one down move, you got about 10. Yeah, you feel me? They outnumbered out there. It's reversed out here. So most of the politics, like, which you got the Crip on Crip beef, you might not see too much of that out here. It's more like an even
blood on blood beef. Like Wiggins being gonna sit here and bullshit you. Wiggins, it's more blood on blood beef out here than anything, bro. You might got like remember like how I was trying to break down to you, right? Like we on the East Coast, so I'm pretty sure you heard about like the other East Coast based hoods, like Texas murder and stuff like that. We have we have other entities out here that claiming the L gang, but that's not necessarily the L gang, if I would say. Like they claiming they man, I can't really break that down, but
break it down.
On camera I could probably break that down a little bit more, but on here I can't really break that down. But just more so like on a softer way to put it on YouTube, right? Is more so we got to claim some shit that ain't that, and you know, it's cleanup season. That's really it.
All right. For sure. Do you guys like, okay, since y'all got links to the West Coast, y'all really official with it, you could tap in. You feel me? You got homies on the West you could tap in with. Because, you know, blood started on the West. Do y'all kind of...
For sure. Shout out to Kings Manor, man. Kings Manor, Pasadena, Denver Lanes, man. Shout out to Kings Manor Project.
Oh, y'all know y'all shit. Okay, for sure.
Tip Tops.
Yeah, 754.
Tip Tops, just all love, man.
For sure, man. Shout out to OG Stoney.
All right. So do y'all kind of look down on the ones that don't come from the West Coast, like the ones that's kind of, you know, I'll be hearing, you know, like some of them, they got these rules and these 50 and, you know, certain things I never heard of before. Do y'all kind of...
Yeah, nah, bro. We don't go about none of that. We keep it strictly West, bro. We keep it strictly Denver, bro. We don't go about none of that. So my opinion on that, right, Wiggins? Yeah. So we not gonna say we frown upon it. You got some homies out here that do frown upon it, but I will say this: it's like it's each your own, man. It's like you gotta respect it. It's because like they was misled, but the upbringing was so respectable and how they came about was respectable. So you have no choice but to respect it because they did some right stuff for the black culture. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get down, you know what I'm saying, into the nitty gritty, that's what it was all about, protecting the blacks in the jails. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that, but they should have went about it the right way. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love and respect. You know what I'm saying? It's all love and respect. But it should have just went. It should have just went different a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Right. So it could have been the discrepancy.
And to follow you up with that, bro. To follow you up with that, bro, because you know I'm a remain anonymous, but I'm from New York. I'm from the New York side. We've been out here since like '96. So we've seen the ups and the downs when it comes to being on the East Coast, and we're different from them, and they feel different from us. We could be in a room with them, and they could speak how they speak, and we might not understand it, but we grew up around it. That was kind of how can I put it? That was some of the guidance in certain people actually joining hood. But you have people that have a better mind frame that's like, I can really travel the world with this. I can't really travel the world if I'm stuck in the tri-state area and the tri-state mind frame. That's a fact. And I'm not willing to listen and hear, okay, well, we got our name from y'all, but how?
Right. And that's
if you really hear the truth on stuff like that, then you'll see why it's so much the way even they have a UBN, like even that, like it's not the same.
For sure.
It would appear that way, but it's not the same.
Hey, Wiggins,
even
you try to
even
break down the UV
even jailing, because everything that they do comes from behind the wall. Everything that they do comes from behind the wall.
Behind the wall.
So
yeah. Everything from any green light comes from behind the wall on the east. Any green light, majority of them do.
and opposed to where we get green lights from the street, behind the wall, anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
It's my also the depiction of that, my bro was speaking on it, like you being, not to go in the detail or nothing, but when you speak to them about the real teachers of it and where it really came from, it's like some of them be dumbfounded, like, what are you talking about? And then like some of them be ignorant to it.
It's definitely
it's like they ignorant to it. They don't want to know it because they're so stuck in their ways. They're so stuck on what was taught to them. They don't want to know. So it be kind of like a clash with that. Like you be trying to tell them, like, not disrespect them, but tell them, like, pull them up, like, yo, blood, you know, such. And dudes don't be wanting to hear that because they already got in their head what they know. You know what I'm saying? So it be kind of like a waste of time, man.
For sure.
It's just a mixture of things. Like,
so when you got Westerners out here,
it would start. I would say, being in New York, like, you know, we have this persona. So like, we don't really take the bullshit. So we locked up. We around the Spanish people at the time. Like, they had Chicago games out here too. So got the Latin Kings and the Yetas. They all running the compounds. But there's the race card coming. But, you know, when you locked up, you have time. Either you're going to get in more trouble or you're going to sit up and read books. You got the homies reading books, and they came across Monster Cody's book, and, you know, he has not too much detail of things in that book, but they felt that it was enough to be like, all right, so this is the formula we're going to follow.
And that's something else, not to disrespect the East, man, once again, but that was something else, because that was why I never could gravitate to the East Coast teachings. I went straight to the West, you feel what I'm saying? Because it was like, how the hell could you catch, like, no disrespect once again, but how could you
let a Crip follow Crip rules?
Put up this red rag. How could you put up this red rag but you got your teachings from a Kiwi?
Yeah.
And to further that, you gotta understand New York likes to what we call violate. Right. So beating on you and you losing your knowledge and whatever you written down for your gang on a piece of paper and stuff like that, they just might revise it. So now you got two reasons why back then you see a lot of the East Coast down moves, they pushed that whole 5 thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of them were 5%ers. And then on top of that, when they was beating on the Latin Kings, they started taking their paperwork.
Yeah, and they
so
were
now you got
People's
Nation stuff in there, and they were just revising everything that they could revise. Now, the goal was probably supposed to be to tap in, but certain hoods were already tainted. I would say that they were misled to the point where they were tainted. They were stuck in their ways. They already know if they come out there, it'll be a different vibe. But in the sense, like, I can't front. Mostly the Crips is in tune on the East Coast.
For sure.
It makes me run into a downward. You don't know what type of downward you gonna run into. But you're definitely gonna run into a Crip that really know what they talking about. Like, I watched the Trays get into it with some Trays from out west because they seen a picture with all the homegirls together. One was from the 30s and the other one was from the 20s, and the other one is a Trey. So they start calling her all types of derogatory rolling lingo. And she's like, what? Like, I got this big 3 tatted on my neck. Y'all out there moving and grooving. We don't do that out here. I'm like, oh she knows what she talking about, though. Like, and I haven't ran in, like, it's very hard to run into a Crip that's not in tune with their counterparts versus our side, actually. And it's crazy.
But you know what?
Man.
I'm not sure if you aware of this. Anonymous, I don't want to say the name, man, but I don't think Trey's beef with 30s though. They kind of like 40s to the 100s, but 20s I'm not sure. But I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. I didn't even know about that.
Right, like her response, I did not expect that response. I thought it was just going to be like, listen, you take that up with my big bro or whatever. But she really knew what she was talking about. I'm like, oh, nah, some of them really come, they go out there, they tap in. That's another thing. Like, it's kind of hard for anybody from the East to tap in, because if they have a name right now, once they come home, if they get off that plane, the feds is waiting on them.
Yeah, man, that's something else that's bad over here. And
then they got to make sure that it makes sense. Then they got to make sure it makes sense. Y'all got
gang injunctions and stuff like that over there. Like, I be reading up on. We don't get that over here on the East. We get straight
RICO charges.
Yeah, we get straight RICOs over here.
What?
Yeah, we don't get gang injunctions, or we barely get gang indictments. We get straight RICOs.
Right now, New York City had the biggest takedowns between 2017. Yeah, 2016, my fault. 2016 and now.
Bro,
2016 was worse.
Hey, Wiggins, we be down here in Delaware, right? It's another part of Delaware that's called Dover. And Dover got a lot of homies down there too, but it's more so like, how would you say, it's more so organized down there, and it's more so the cultural banging. Like, they keep it Crip on blood down there, really.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's more so like, you would see more so Bloods banging on Crips and Crips banging on Bloods down there. It's more of that movement down there than the street gangs. So when you go down there and stuff like that, like, they're more so, how would you say, like I was telling you earlier, like how bro was saying, like, it's hard to tap in. Some dudes down there is lost. There's some dudes down here lost, like, don't know nothing, that never left Delaware. And that goes back to, like, saying, like, over here, in comparison to us, to, like, the West, you got a lot of dudes that stuck in the old ways that don't want to know the truth about really where we come from or none of that. They don't want to know that. And that be kind of like what divides us, because you got a lot of young homies out here that be wanting that. That be like, nah, bro, I want to know where we come from, bro. But you got a lot of older homies that be pushing the narrative. We don't need to know that. We us. Nah, how we claiming something we don't know it.
Right.
That's because people are scared to not look like the teacher all the time. When you have to realize the perfect teacher knows when to be the student.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
Like, that's it. It's
because me, I follow a lot of the motherland rules.
For sure.
Like, heavy, especially like certain enemigos you're not going to see me around. Whether you tried to save me or you tried to be my friend or not, you're not really going to see me around you. I'm not going to push the issue, because out here it's just more like, if we going to beef with you, it's not going to be because you from Compton or you from Long Beach or wherever. It's just because of the color. It's just because of the color. That's the only thing that's going to happen in New York City. It's going to be that. But now it's more like blocks. So you'll see a lot of Damus and Crips together banging on other Damus and Crips now. Like,
that's what I was telling you about up here in Delaware, Wiggins. Like, it's more so the cliques, bro. Like, you be having, like, yeah, you got your hoods out here, but you be having more so cliques than anything that's decent with each other.
All right. Okay, so Anonymous, you know what I'm saying, he brought something up about New York, man. So I know y'all close to Philly, and in Philly they be having them Puerto Ricans be they be on it, like they own that. So
no, we hey Wiggins, we more closer to Philly than the niggas. They more closer to, like, Jersey.
That's a fact. You're in Delaware. We got to go to Jersey to get to Philly for real.
Yeah, I was about to say we more
sometimes.
Right. So, but like,
we got door-to-door van services for that.
Oh, is that right? For sure.
Yeah, and it's different because, like, all right, you got some of the homies from out west. If they start something, they stay in tune with it. They'll reach out to the homies in other states. The big homies, as far as the East Coast politics go, they don't do that for them other states that they poison. They just let them run wild.
And that's how the poison started, Wiggins, and that's how you have people out here misrepresenting, and then you have a lot of misinformation spreaded and all types of BS.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. in Delaware, is it like Puerto Rican hoods that, you know, just kind of do their own thing? That probably beef with blacks or push
yeah,
black
we
people
got. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what's all out here. We got some MS-13s out here, but they not like, you know how like in Cali it's more so a racial thing. Like,
yeah,
they see blacks or, you feel me, whatever.
In New York, they going crazy right now.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna cap. Down here, it's more so of respecting. Like, we got a side of town, like on the west side of Wilmington, right? It's nothing but poppies over there. Wiggins like, I ain't gonna cap. You go over there, it's nothing but them. You got Lion Kings, you got MS-13s, but the Lion Kings kind of faded out because I think they head got locked up and killed or something like that. I don't really know. Don't quote me on that. But as far as like MS-13s, yeah, they be, oh yeah, and the Yetas, they out here too. But they not really heavy. They more so like low key.
Oh, damn. So none of them like try to push a line on the blacks like, hey, we beefing with N-words.
Now, today, no. I want to say, like a couple years ago, we had a little issue with the Latin Kings. Like, it was more so like you had some Latin Kings that then turned blood, and then it was like some problems behind that, and then it was, you feel me, a couple situations. But other than that, not really.
All right, for sure.
I'm glad you know that stuff too, man, because that's crazy. I was definitely about to chime in on that. That definitely was the case a little bit.
Yeah, like that's about it. Like we had
like a lot of New Yorkers, predominantly Spanish. It's like either you Spanish or you black for real, but we have just predominantly Puerto Ricans and Dominicans out here.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely do got a lot of like. It's really on one side of town though. Like they not spread throughout the whole city in Wilmington. Like if you go on the west side of Wilmington, you going to see them. Like you can't miss them dudes over there. You go on First Street, they got a whole spot called the Dominican Cafe. Banging. They got some banging breakfast. If you ever want to go try that joint, it's on First Street, but. They be posted up yellow flag. That's all you see is Mexicans. That's all you see is Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. I'd be like, dang, they taking over the biddies. And a couple years ago, like I ain't gonna cap, like 2015, like it was kind of worse if you ask me. Like it was worse in the city if you ask me. But it was like every corner you went on, it was like a Puerto Rican or a Mexican. But now it's more so like a little even. It's like they kind of like getting pushed out a little bit. I don't know. It's like we fighting a little bit. Like. To not get justified.
Like even out here, like all the racial tension, a lot of the racial tension is down. I'm not going to say too much about Long Island because that's where most of the MS-13 is at, and they're bugging and making the news right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say like,
even jail politics, like even jail politics. Yeah, like even jail politics, like is different out here. Like if you run into a op. You not catching a head up with no ops. None of the homies is giving you a fair one, and you're liable.
This ain't like Cali, man. They jump. Yeah, ain't no head
like the stories. You see how you got the stories, like I didn't caught. Like I like watching the 4 Extra do word too.
Yeah, I love 4 Extra. I love that. Blood be doing it up. I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta be from somewhere. You gotta be from somewhere. But yeah, you see how he got stories about catching nothing but head ups in the county. You getting cut in the county, you might get cut. You're definitely getting cut up north, or you getting stuck up north. Like nobody really fighting you. You getting jumped and cut regardless.
Damn, that's crazy.
Not too many houses. Like to the point where it's a lot of segregation in the county. Like you got the Crips that got one house. The Dominican gang might have a house. The Damus is everywhere. They still might have a house, but they're everywhere. They're in general population, so that's a setup.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
It's like in our prison system, the predominantly either you're blood or you're Latin King when you hit the spot.
Hey, bro, let me tell you this. You know what else I forgot to tell you, Big, that's different from the West over here in Wilmington?
Talk to me.
We is like a Muslim-based city. So you have a lot of Muslims out here. But the Muslims is gangsters, though. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they G's. Like, it's not like your typical Muslims. Like, these Muslims are, Assalamu alaikum, will blow your head off. Like, it's different. Like, it's different. Like, it's different out here.
One guy, I forgot which spot this was. Like, one of the East Coast homies was telling me this while I was locked up with him. I got his arm broke. The Muslims, they normally ride with the Damus out here. Like, they stay out their way. They don't bother each other. But this one year, they was going at it. So when the homie introduced himself to his bunkie swung at him with a lock in the sock immediately.
Damn.
Yeah, the Muslims are heavy out here, though. That's something I forgot to tell you. They are heavy out here. They are heavy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So, hold on. Anonymous just said something crazy, man. You mean to tell me on the East right now in New York and Delaware, like the Muslims is riding with the Damus?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, how can I put it? I wouldn't say like riding. I mean, they would line you up. They definitely would line you up. They hit the gate, throwing the crip hand signs, and the first person to throw them back, they looking at the back of the house like, yo, bro, he's this or he's that, or the person that throws the B back at the neutral, we call them neutrons sometimes, or as the East Coast will call them, they call them 550s. 550s, yeah.
Damn.
They actually do more setting up for the homies than anything, because it's like that's the majority.
Wow.
Like, it's very selective few neutral people in the crip house. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably very, very old, because those are non-movement houses. They get fed in-house. They go to the yard by themselves. They don't really interact with general population, because that's where everything starts.
And over here in Delaware, it's different. The Muslims run the jail. In Philly, in Delaware, the Muslims run the jail. Ain't no way around it. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Muslims run the jail. It ain't like, this is a Muslim-based city. So really, you gotta like a dude like me. We go into jails. We gotta really like let it be known. Like, nah, ain't nothing. Like you gotta stand. Like, you gotta stand on it. Like, and if you don't stand on it, shit, you just That's
like I went somewhere. I was in one of the states. I was in Ohio with some PDL homies, but I was always at a biker. I was always in a biker situation, though. Like, it seemed like it was more bikers than gang members, and most of the gang members were bikers. So I'm like, oh wow, this is different, because back here in New York, the gangs run everything. It's the gangs and the cops. That's it.
You said the cops?
Like, we have. Yeah, they
the cops, bro.
Here.
Yeah, the cops.
It's to the point where, bro, like, New York has this cloud over it where everybody likes to diss the dead. So now the precincts know who's into it with who. Yes, the precincts know who's into it with who, and they'll play the opposite side's music.
This shit dead, man.
Man, that's
like, you know how
crazy.
in Cali they be like, they pull up, they be like, they be like, what the cops be doing in there? Like, they be pulling up, frisking everybody, putting on the wall. They not doing that. Down here, they'll troll you. Yeah, well, such and such.
Oh, no, we're putting you up on the wall, but the trolling come with it. They throw up your hand signs. They throw fingers in them.
I ain't gonna cap,
you know, a lot of people on the East Coast don't know how to do the hood diss thing. A lot of homies don't know how to do the hood diss thing.
Out here.
That's the one thing that a lot of people don't be in tune with. Like the whole essence of the culture, like even the way of disrespecting somebody. A lot of people don't understand that out here. But when they do, it's like, oh, now that really hurt my feelings.
Y'all got some crazy shit over there on the East, man. I ain't lying, man.
And then you be surprised, like, you'll be shocked at what hoods are actually out here.
Yeah, you would, man. I even me, I was shocked. You know what else I want to throw out there too? Like Wilmington, I want to say, right, is not like any other state, as I mentioned to you. Like, I want to say Wilmington didn't really get this turn into killing. Like, if you do your research, they call us murder town, USA. Like, we're the only little state that got high numbers in murders, and we don't even got more than 100,000 people down here, I don't think. Like, we really a small state, so we really didn't, like, the murders and stuff didn't start popping, I want to say, until like 2014. And you know why they started popping? When I say this, y'all might all start laughing. Like, and this is no joke. Like, if anybody do their research on Wilmington, like, the murders didn't start really, like, every state had murders. Of course, everywhere you got drama, but it didn't get serious until 14, and I feel like that's when Chicago came into play. When Lil Durk, Chief Keef, and all these rappers started coming out, and that's when Delaware got turned out.
The whole world
and that's the truth.
Yeah. All that smoking on, everybody took their shit. I ain't lying.
Like,
LA
sure,
too.
Like, when I say our city had no, like, we really, like, even with the street games, dudes wasn't streaming that gang stuff out here. Like, you had us back in the day, Murder, you had the little cliques. Then when Chicago came out, you had dudes in Wilmington screaming Chicago games, but they wasn't, you know what I mean, what they were, you know what I'm saying, what them dudes was claiming. They was just taking names and like, yeah, we was this. Then you had some dudes that was stealing dudes' actual names, like, yeah, my name's D. Rose.
Oh, yeah, that's what was going on out here,
like,
too.
Bro, Wilmington was crazy at that time.
I want you to know this. I want you to know that a lot of the youngins, like the top rapper in New York, has a Chicago name right now.
Yes, they do. Deep, bro.
You got D-Thing, you got a D-Rose out here, there's an E-Day, there's a... I think there's a C-Day out
Everybody
here.
copies Chicago, bro. That's something else that's different. Everybody copies Chicago.
And I mean no disrespect because I'm from the home that, you know, we started hip-hop, so I don't look at it as we stealing from anybody or trying to be like anybody. We just elevating what they on. That's how I look at it.
For sure.
Because we could both say the same thing, but the wordplay is different. For sure.
All right.
Like each borough, you could tell when there's a Brooklyn person on the song, a Bronx person, somebody from Queens, somebody from Staten.
Yo, what's that little thing y'all be doing on the song? What's that little sound y'all be making?
Oh man, everybody out here talking that Gaga boom shit. I hate that.
No, the other one. Chef D be doing it. What's the job? You know.
Get the bow.
Bro, you know how I do it, dog.
He got so many of them. He got mad of them, bro.
You gotta do it for wigs, dog. You gotta do it for wigs. Do that. Make that serial, bro.
I'm trying to figure out which one.
It be sounding like
so many of them out here.
Like you. I don't know how to do it, bro. You know how to do it, bro.
Oh, everybody get out here.
Yeah, that's it.
I know what you're talking about. That's heavy. That's like back in the day when you used to hear the Dom was your brat all day. You knew where you was at once you heard that. Like I do like some of the ways that the East Coast has like their structures, but then it's like you're structured and misled. You can't be both. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. For sure.
Real talk.
And the fact that we could tell a lot of them where they come from, and they just be like, "Wow, I didn't know that."
Yeah.
It hurts because if the shoe was on the other foot, you're probably getting cut. Like somebody that hurt you. That definitely hurt you behind that. And out here, it's not who you know, it's what you know for real. It's who you know could get you in trouble. It only takes like 2 people, 3 people to say that one person is no good.
Yo, do we tell wigs like the East Coast is more so like a paper banging, like it's like a paper banging side. Like everybody goes off of knowledge off of paper that somebody written down really. Like if you not like banging a West Coast hood,
straight political campaigns.
Yeah, like you want some political
everything is
stuff,
political.
Like somebody written something down. If you banging an East Coast hood like sex, money, murder, or something like that, for example. Your big homie probably written something down and was like, yeah, you need to know this oath by the end of the day. We need to know this. And they're like, we don't go by none of that. You feel me? We go by, you know what I mean, the laws and regulations of when they go off of oaths and this. I don't get all that, but you know, that's another difference right there. Like we don't get into all that.
For sure. Nah, I dig it, man.
I ain't gonna lie, though. Some of they breakdowns, though, like, when you look at it, it'd be like, wow, why didn't I think of that, though? Like,
I mean, it's respectable, but just like I said the wig earlier, like, how can we say we got moves, but nobody wants to go tap in and see where it came from? It's not respectable. That's like saying...
Right.
Now watch this. For the one, like I told you, for the ones that do, the feds is on.
You don't want to go to the Mecca and see like where you know what I'm saying, the home Islam is really from. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. That's like saying you know what I mean, whatever, bro. Like you just can't say you a part of something you don't really know.
We definitely got homies from a lot of y'all hoods out here that actually tap in and go visit, from the Hunters to the NHBs to the Lanes. Everybody, they go tap in. Even with the Roosters, like the Nellas is out here. They tap in. They go back and forth to their motherland a lot.
We got a hella mob Pyrus out here. We got a lot of them out here.
For sure.
Let's go get them mob Pyrus out here too.
Now that's where the confusion comes in at, because you have a lot of California homies from any side that just doesn't like the fact that somebody from another state is doing what they're doing and what their state started. But
right. You
can't blame us for something that one of your closest homies then traveled and put on. He spreaded that seed, that wildfire.
Exactly.
For sure.
Right.
They may be looking at us crazy.
Right. Well, man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I learned some shit, man. I can't wait to put this out. It's dropping tomorrow, man. Well, I had a blast, man. You know what I'm saying? I
still got to see you them flicks and shit too. I see you that by the end of the night and all that.
Yeah, for sure, man, though. Well, until next time, man, S.WigginsTV, man. You know what I'm saying? The East Coast PDLs in the building. Anonymous and my boy Montega, man. We out here.
All the time.
That's right.
Two of them. Woo-woo.
And worldwide.